Will it boom or will it crash?
Welcome back to another real estate video. Today I will give 6 predictions for this year's real estate market. I will list 2 major concerns as well as 5 things you should do to get ready for what's coming. If you're new to the real estate space, be sure to first check out my video on how the real estate market works. That video will help you understand what created the incredible strength in the real estate market in 2020, so we can better predict the housing market in 2021. Prediction number 1, supply will be less tight. Housing supply has remained low due to secular housing shortage and the lack of inventory in the near term. In 2021, you should see more supply coming online on the margin for 3 reasons. 1, more constructions will likely be started and completed, modestly relieving the housing shortage. Builder sentiment is quite positive currently, and high prices should incentivize more home building. Second, we'll see a little bit more supply of inventory as more sellers who are sidelined by anxiety and uncertainty put their homes on the market. Third, some homes will become available as the protection from the foreclosure and eviction moratorium potentially expire in some places. All of that means the currently tight supply will be less tight coming into 2021. Prediction number 2, stronger demand and shifting demand. In my previous video, how the real estate market works, we talked about 20 million new households will be formed in the next decade. That will help sustain the strong housing market demand, but looking over the next year, demand will likely stay high and possibly higher in 2021 due to 3 reasons. First, work from home culture continues, and the home will continue to be an important place for work and personal life. Second, the economy will reopen as vaccination rate increases into the spring and summer. The labor market and wages will recover, and more buyers will start searching for a home in the market. Third, mortgage payments have become more affordable thanks to extremely low mortgage interest rates and healthy market for the last few years. That should be supported to demand as more buyers afford homes. Although this will be somewhat offset by higher home prices and tighter credit conditions. You will not only see demand trending higher in 2021, but also shifting to other areas. With millions of people forced to work remotely, employers and employees alike may find this attractive option even after the pandemic ends. That means demand will likely increase for homes large enough to provide office space, as well as easy access to outdoor spaces. And if long commutes are no longer everyday requirements, many households may move to lower density areas where housing is less expensive. However, a major shift in residential development patterns is far from certain. Prediction number 3, a record year for sales. With more supply and demand coming into the market, sales will be very strong. Recent researchers predict that annual home sales growth is expected to be the highest in almost 40 years, as life and financial certainty brings more sellers into the market to meet the heavy demand. And technologies allows for faster connections with interested buyers. Many models predict 20% sales growth in 2021 because of the enduring strength in the marketplace and the potential homes for sale that are currently on the sidelines. Despite pausing for a few weeks due to COVID-19 lockdowns, home sales rose to a healthy 6% in 2020. Typically going into winter, we see home sales slow down, but not this winter. Sales continue to be elevated relative to a normal season. Of the homeowners who are considering selling in the next 3 years, a third are not selling this past fall due to life and financial uncertainty. Some of that deferred sales will spill over to this season. Prediction number 4, prices to rise. Now, contrary to some other people predicting a crash in 2021, I believe home prices will likely rise. When you consider the balance of secular and cyclical inventory crunch, marginally more homes for sale, cyclically strong demand that will strengthen into the recovery, and favorable mortgage interest rates, you will naturally come to the conclusion that prices will be higher in 2021. My base case is moderate home appreciation. That means 3 to 6% in my market in the Intermountain West, where it's becoming an appreciating equity market as opposed to a cash flow market. There is an upside potential to be another 10% year. but that's not my base case. Prediction number 5, rental demand to weaken, rents to recover. I want to quickly touch on the rental market. Rental market demand had slowed down even before the pandemic. The number of renter households were essentially unchanged since 2016, but there are more renters with higher income. Going forward, rental demand will likely weaken further. Those renters who are financially healthy will afford to purchase a home, encouraged by low interest rates. But those renters who have been hurt financially will double up with others. So you will see vacancy rate rising on the margin and weak rents in the higher end rentals. However, if the foreclosure prevention measures terminate, rental market could see an influx of former homeowners. In terms of rents, we have seen rents decline in urban areas relative to suburban areas. In places like New York City and San Francisco, rents fell 12% and 5% respectively. But lower rents will draw new and returning residents when the pandemic is over. Going forward, rents will likely rise, with concessions offered by landlords fading as dense urban centers recover. About 12 million renters will owe an average of almost $6,000 in rent. If landlords allow renters to repay that debt interest-free over a period of 3 years, by increasing monthly rents, these 12 million renters will pay an additional $162 in rent each month. Prediction number 6, mortgage rates to remain low. Mortgage rates will probably remain low despite rising long-term interest rates as the economy recovers. Mortgage spread to interest rate should continue to narrow and offset the rising interest rate in some degree. My base case is that mortgage rates will trend higher but remain near historical lows. Concern number 1, stimulus and protection ending before recovery. Although many homeowners struggled to make their mortgage payments when the pandemic hit, government stimulus, higher home values, and higher levels of home equity have so far kept a foreclosure crisis at bay. The current stimulus check and other government support from the second round of stimulus package should support the economy through the middle of the year. The foreclosure and eviction moratorium could be very possibly extended again until the acute stress of the labor market dissipates. If the protection from the moratorium stops, or the stimulus from the government ceases, or we experience prolonged virus spread and lockdown, we will experience weak housing activities and prices. But I am optimistic that things will work out. Concern number 2, the tale of two Americas. We have two Americas, the haves and the have-nots. Lower income renters are disproportionately hurt during the pandemic. For renters earning less than $25,000, 20% were behind on rent. For renters earning more than $75,000, only 7% were behind on rent. A recent Harvard study puts it this way. The economic disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has underscored the stark and growing differences between financially secure households and those living paycheck to paycheck. While relatively affluent households have been able to retreat to their homes and work remotely during this crisis, millions of low-income households have lost their jobs and fallen behind on their rent or mortgage payments. Many of these households had housing cost burdens even before the crisis hit and are now facing the potential loss of their homes. So if you agree with these predictions, here are the 5 things you should do to succeed in 2021. Number 1, if you're looking to sell, either now or later will be a good time to sell. Now is a good time to sell because you're in the seller's market, and with the lack of housing inventory, you'll likely get a good price on your home. Selling later is good too, because a lot of the dynamics you're seeing now will continue. I think prices will continue to rise. Even though you compete with other sellers on the margin next year, a lot of people will be looking for homes as well. Number 2, if you're a buyer, don't time the market. Buy as soon as you're ready, not when the market is ready. The market will not wait for you. The housing crash you have been waiting for may not come in 2021. Frankly, with home prices rising most of the time, market timing proves to be a terrible strategy for the novice. Number 3, although sales will likely be abundant, don't expect to find a deal easily because there are a lot of eyes on the market. With limited listing and more people looking to move, the housing market has become more efficient. There is too many eyes on too few assets, Sellers are too aware of the marketplace to list below the market. Buyers are too smart to let go a good deal. Number 4, leverage technology to help with your home needs. A real estate transaction happens a lot faster now, with the home sitting on market for only 25 days on average. Use online platforms with home data to help you find out what you want for a home. Virtually tour homes, connecting with the right agents and advisors, know how much your home is worth, and learn the basics of the housing market. That includes watching my videos. Number 5, get your finances in order. Take advantage of the current interest rate environment through refinancing. This will lower your payment and save the interest you waste each month. Pay off debt that are not productive. Build a reserve for future economic shocks. Diversify your income stream so losing one income stream won't be detrimental. Become an investing pro so you can build financial freedom. I have an increasing amount of free resources on my channel and my website to help you get your finances in order. By now you probably figured that I am an optimist, and you're right. I think the economy will continue to recover with the distribution of the vaccine, and people will continue to demand more homes. Some of that demand will be met by new constructions and more inventories coming into the market. Sales are setting up to be a record year, and pressures are for prices to rise some more. And that is my outlook for 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you disagree with my predictions, and let us know what you're doing to ensure success in 2021.